Today we're going to talk about locking up your bikes. There's the old joke about the two guys going through the woods and suddenly a bear comes charging at them. The one guy sits down to put on his running shoes and the other guy says, "What are you doing? There's no way you're going to outrun the bear." He says, "I don't have to outrun the bear. I just have to outrun you." And that's kind of what locking your bike up is like. There's no perfect bike lock, but if your bike is locked up more securely than the one next to you, hopefully yours gets passed over and the bear goes after somebody else. So today we're going to talk about different lock options.
Whenever you can, bring your bike inside. If your bike is inside, it can't get stolen. One of the really cool features of the Tern cargo bikes is that they can stand vertically to take up less space. So if you're parking it inside a house, office, or garage, it'll take up a lot less room. In addition to my cargo bike, I also own a folding bike, which I like to use for short runs to the store when I just want to be able to take my bike in with me and not have to deal with the hassle of locking it up outside. When you do lock your bike up outside, be sure to remove any easy-to-remove accessories such as lights, spare tubes, or tools. These are easy theft targets for people, and you don't want to lose those when you're just running in and out of the store. When you use a U-lock, make sure to go through the frame. If you can also go through one of the wheels, even better. An auxiliary cable or chain is great for securing seats, wheels, and other accessories. There's no rule that you have to limit yourself to just one lock. The more locks, the less of a theft target your bike will be. On expensive bikes, it's also a good idea to install a tracking chip. Square Tile, Milwaukee Tick, or Apple AirTags are all great ones that you can hide anywhere on the bike. One of the nice features of Bosch-equipped electric bikes is that you can have your name and phone number saved in the system. All the Tern electric bikes have a Bosch-equipped system, so whenever you buy one from a dealer, make sure to have your name and phone number programmed into the system.
Lots of different lock options when it comes to locking up your bike, everything from the traditional U-lock to the different types of chain locks. This one's by Hip Lock, where you can wear it as a belt. All locks will have different security ratings on them that show how much protection each one gives you. And with Kryptonite, they'll even put how much they will reimburse you if your bike gets stolen when you're using their lock. You do have to turn in the cut lock in order to be able to claim that. The heavier duty the lock, the thicker the metal, the harder it is to break into. You might have to cut both sides versus one on a heavier duty U-lock versus a cheaper U-lock. Securing your wheels and seats with an additional cable lock is always a good idea. You can use these in conjunction with a Kryptonite lock. There's folding locks by A-Boost. This one's real popular with folding bikes and anybody that wants something that's real easy to slide into a bag. Kryptonite makes heavy duty cinch ring locks, so the choices are infinite, but you don't want to go with a really inexpensive lock when you're buying a really nice bike because you get what you pay for when it comes to a lock. People often don't understand what the difference is between an expensive Kryptonite lock and a cheaper version. In addition to being thinner, cheaper Kryptonite locks, if you cut one leg, the whole thing will swivel. On a more expensive one, it's designed so that both legs have to be cut in order for the lock to come apart. So this one takes twice as long to cut through than this one, in addition to the metal on this one being much thicker than on the cheaper lock. Cable locks are really good for holding down accessories. The problem with these is I would not use them as your primary lock because people running around with bolt cutters can go right through a lock like this. The Tern GSD, HSD, and NBD all come with an A-Boost wheel lock. On the GSD, it's on the front, and then on the HSD and the NBD, it's on the rear wheel. Due to a European regulation, the key will always be in place until you lock it. So to lock it, you turn the key, push the lock through the wheel, and then you can remove the key. So the seat posts with the Thud Buster are kind of expensive, and with the quick release, securing your seat when you park your bike is always a good idea. The accessory A-Boost cinch ring lock is a nice way to slide it through your seat rails, through the ring, and then you can snap this into your A-Boost wheel lock.
The A-Boost wheel lock can be added to standard bikes as well, as long as they have cantilever or V-brake bosses on the fork or frame. E-bikes that also do not have the wheel lock that comes with them, you can also add it, and they even have a kit where if you have a Bosch-equipped bike, you can have the key for your battery match the one that you add with the wheel lock.
So when you're locking up your bike, there's a bunch of different options for how to do it. One thing with the GSD and the HSD that you'll always want to do is they do have an integrated wheel lock that also has a key that's keyed the same as the battery. So the most important thing is to make sure that you take the key out so that nobody steals your battery. If you're going to be leaving your bike outside for a long period of time, removing the battery is also a good idea to take it with you. That'll pop out like so. Where I'm currently parked, I only have a tree to lock to, not a bike rack. So in this case, I would use my Kryptonite cinch ring lock. It's as heavy duty as a U-lock, but it uses a ring design where the chain will go through the loop. So you can put it around larger objects and then still come around to your bike. So in this case, I'm gonna come around the tree, pass the chain through here, and then using the U, I can put this around the frame, through the link, and lock the bike up. Now this should be fairly obvious, but just when you are locking up your bike, make sure that you are locking it to the frame and not the wheel so that somebody doesn't disconnect your wheel and take off with your bike. A-Boost makes a smaller version of the cinch ring lock. This one's called the 6KS100 because it's 100 centimeters long. And it's a little bit lighter duty than the Kryptonite, but it integrates with the A-Boost wheel lock that comes on the bike. You can run this through the seat rails, drop it through the ring, and then it snaps into the far side of the wheel lock. This lock can also be used to secure it to things like the tree, but it's a much lighter duty lock, so the Kryptonite will give you much more security. This will keep somebody from undoing the quick release on your seat, taking off with your seat and your seat post. They do make different latches that you can put instead of the quick release, but then you lose the ability to quickly adjust it, and a lot of times you'll need a specialty wrench to then adjust the seat if you are going to be adjusting it, but that is another option.
When locking up your bike outside, where you lock it up is almost as important as what you lock it up with. A lot of times bike racks are hidden behind stores or someplace where they feel it'll be not as much of an eyesore. So sometimes locking it up to a street sign or post right in front of a store near the front door is going to be much better than locking it up on a bike rack that's out of sight. If there's a security guard outside of a store where you're parking your bike, it's also a good idea just to wave hi and point out your bike as you're walking into the store for them to keep an eye on it while you're in there. They're out there keeping an eye on things anyway, and if they know the bike is associated with you, if somebody else is messing with it, they'll know to say something.